Going along, I don't know what I want to get to next. I think the violence that's been going on. Lewis is flagging me that we need to talk about this in depth. And Lewis is someone who had a tendency towards very violent movies as a youth. Now is actually finds despicable what's going on with some of the teabaggers and many others related to healthcare. When they were voting for healthcare in Congress, there was spitting and swearing at a number of congressmen, including some African Americans, that spitting on African American congressmen and yelling the N-word, yelling faggot at Congressman Barney Frank. That's nothing. That's literally nothing compared to what has happened since then. And some of these stories, none of these are from The Onion. These are all real, undoctored stories that I'm going to tell you about. A Tennessee man was so enraged by seeing an Obama-Biden bumper sticker on a car that he repeatedly, not just once would be okay. Once, if you get angry and you bump someone once, that's fine. But he repeatedly rammed his SUV into the guy's car with a 10-year-old girl inside. The guy's name is Harry Weisiger. He had just picked up his 10-year-old daughter from school and had her in the car with him. He pointed at the back of my car, the victim said, the bumper, flipped me off, the one-finger salute. Once he started driving again down Blair Boulevard, he said, I looked in the rearview mirror again and the same SUV was speeding, flying up behind me, bumped me. He applied the brake, the SUV smashes into the back of his car. He puts the car in park to take care of the accident. Weisiger starts pushing the car using his SUV, all because of an Obama-Biden bumper sticker. It sounds like people are coming completely unhinged, and I'll tell you, it doesn't stop there. Representative Steve King, Republican from Iowa, slapping a sign from a balcony at the House of Representatives with Nancy Pelosi's face on it. Take a listen.
Still, Democrats are blaming Republican lawmakers for egging protesters on, maybe over the line, like this over the weekend, when Republican Steve King held up a poster of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, gave her a thumbs down, and made a slapping motion across her face. We asked King about that.
There was a moment that we have seen. You were up there, right on that balcony up there, with a picture of the House Speaker slapping it.
Now, that would be an exaggeration, but this is a melodrama.
Okay, so Steve King, he refused to answer. He walked away from Dana Bash there on CNN. Bart Stupak, he was at the forefront of some controversy about whether he would or wouldn't vote for the bill because of his pro-life, anti-abortion stance. You would not believe the voicemails he's been getting, and I'll play a couple of them for you now.
You are a bastard and a baby killer. You will rue the day you did this, Mr. Stupak. You are a disgusting man, and I hope you're haunted the rest of your living days, because you won't be a congressman much longer. So you are a dirtbag, and the country loathes you. And God, bastard that you are, we think you're a devil. And you will go to your grave with this on your conscience. Was it worth it selling your soul?
Stupak, you're a low-life, baby-murdering, scumbag pile of steaming crap. You and your family are scum. You ought to fill your pockets with lead and jump into Potomac, punk. That's what you are, Stupak. You're a piece of crap. We despise you and every punk like you, Stupak.
That last voicemail apparently coming from a construction site. The guy sounded like he was on his break with trucks backing up. And then lastly, these threats did not stop short of death threats.
Congressman Stupak, you baby killing, you turncoat son of a. I hope you bleed out your ass, got cancer, and die. You do not say that you're pro-life, and then for a few bucks, do turncoat and hurt the country. I hope you die.
So I know a lot of people will hear that and say that that's the voice of an insane man. That's the voice of someone who is completely unraveled psychologically and has very little attachment to the real world. And I would agree with that. But if you think this is just an angry guy that won't do anything, remember, Lewis, what happened to the last guy that was labeled a baby killer by conservatives? He's dead. That's George Tiller. So these threats should not be taken lightly.
Well, I guess you can't take any threat lightly, but when you get this many of them, it kind of waters them all down.
You're right. It absolutely does. And then last thing, Sarah Palin, surrounding the rhetoric of reloading and targeting districts with a map on her website, literally with a target. She went out over the weekend and she said, that's not inciting violence. People are just getting all blown out of whack. And you know what? John McCain, her former running mate, actually agreed with her. He's not worried about using the term reload and target when talking about the healthcare bill.
This is Midweek Politics with Dave Pakman.
Midweek Politics is brought to you in part by Jackson & Connor, classically modern men's apparel in Northampton, Massachusetts on the second floor of Thorne's Marketplace, and by DIF Design, specializing in custom business websites at difdesign.com. To find out more about underwriting Midweek Politics, visit midweekpolitics.com.